Heather Holler, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Degrassiism. Not a kind of Degrassi unpopular opinion, not part of a mini series, but a Degrassiism, which of course is a video about a Degrassi topic without having to do like a popular opinion. But that series has been retired because I've done 200 of them, did a top 30, and did the thing. But anyhow, this is a Degrassiism poll. Now I'm prone to do polls, and there's six options to this poll, as Reddit only gives you six. So anyway, 18 days ago, or for context, this is being taped on August the 5th, 2023. I wrote this. In your mind, what led to Chris and Emma's breakup between season 3 and 4? In my mind, is that Emma felt she could do better. A little more explanation. Emma felt that since girls like Manny could get guys like Craig, it got to her that she could get a hot guy, and that's why she broke up with Chris. But since that may have failed, she didn't want to call her back to Chris, and then made this nice remark about Chris and Liberty, how it would affect her. Again, I say, since when did Emma care about what other people said about her? She never seemed to listen to the staunch criticism of her actions in the first 3 seasons, and let that drag her down. And now she cares about what people think of her. So anyway, I did an unpopular opinion about it, number 193, when I talked about what led to Chris and Emma's breakup and Emma's thinking process. But anyway, there were 6 options. Option 1, Chris breaking up with Emma because he was tired of her BS. Option 2, Emma broke up with Chris because with Sean not being a bad boy, she didn't need Chris anymore. Option 3, Emma broke up with Chris because she felt that she could do better than him. Option 4, they broke up amicably, meaning that they broke up without any problems. Number 5, there was an incident over that summer and they decided to end it because of that. And number 6 is Emma may have been bored with Chris. So, the 6 options, and I'll go into detail why I think that happened and all of that. One person said, I don't think she ever got over Sean. Emma liked Chris but was not really over Sean. And I heard random one said, I feel like Emma broke up with Chris because he seemed open to the two of them getting back together. If he had ended it, I don't think he would have given Emma the time of day. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because he seemed open to the two of them getting back together. Because if he broke it, he wouldn't have given Emma the time of day. Okay. Alright, so here we go. So from 6 to 1. Alright, so number 6 with 22 votes was the one that I voted for, was Emma breaking up with Chris because she felt that she could do better than him. As I explained, that option was due to the fact that it's potentially that, Emma kind of saw Manny being with Craig, even though that it was a love triangle with Manny, Craig, and Ashley, and Manny did some wrong by getting impregnated by Craig and all that, and Emma scolded her for it, for getting an abortion more so than getting pregnant. But the fact of the matter is that when Emma sees that Manny has a guy like Craig, and despite one person saying that Craig cute and all that, no, Craig was nothing. Here's why I think Craig was a hot guy. Let's not forget that in season 2, and this doesn't get viewed enough, is that Emma and Craig had a storyline together in season 2 when Craig was introduced. Emma was involved because Emma was babysitting Joey's daughter Angie when Craig takes the pictures of them. Emma's the one who, alongside Sean and Angie, convinced Joey that Craig's dad is the problem, why Craig is like getting in trouble and all that. And Emma's the one who, through a family photo album, realizes that Craig may be at his mother's grave. Emma wanted to go after Craig. Remember that the next episode in which Emma and Manny sneak into the 80s dance to try to go after Craig, but Craig chooses Manny and Emma's upset over it. And then Emma sneaks back home and then finds out that Spike and Snake are sharing a kiss, and she's upset about Spike playing tassel hockey, as she calls it, with Snake. Spike and Emma go after each other. Emma doesn't want Spike to see someone because she thinks she's number one in Spike's life. And Spike says, why would you sneak to a dance dressed up like me? Huh? I'm dressed up like Cyndi Lauper. Not realizing that that Spike also wanted to be Cyndi Lauper. That was funny. Yeah, that was the first episode which Emma was upset over Spike and Snape dating because, Emma doesn't want her mom dating her teacher. Fine. But yeah, she saw that happen. Yeah, Emma and Craig. Well, Craig's a decent guy, and Emma wanted to be with Craig, but failed miserably. But of course, she's like, some guy will like him. But as I said, it's possible that Emma probably did this, couldn't find a guy, but didn't want to grovel back to Chris, which she should have. Anyway, number 5 of 23 votes was Emma breaking up with Chris because with Sean not being a bad boy, she didn't need him. Now, the reasoning behind this option is that, Emma was upset when Sean broke up with her to join the Candy Bandits, Jay's group. And Emma felt that Sean could be better. Sean slammed the locker in front of Emma, but Emma didn't break. She didn't wince. That shows how badass Emma is. But then, she was always given the problem with Sean. And the fact of the matter is when the other commenters saying about Emma was not over Sean, that would be true. Because when Emma wants to get Sean in trouble for stealing Snake's laptop, among other things at the school, she tells Raj these things, but Sean and the others don't have any physical evidence, so Raj loses. Sean feels happy about himself. Well, I mean, they sold the stuff faster than you can say Superman and all that. But the fact of the matter was that, Sean got in trouble for bad-mouthing Raditch, and Emma felt like she got her revenge. Chris calls her out on it, saying that she didn't care about Snake's laptop. It was all about trying to destroy Sean for moving on from her. Emma tries to explain herself. She fails. They break up, but Emma manages to get Chris back by the end of the episode. It was like, Chris didn't deserve Emma. All that. But anyway, Emma felt like she could do better. But with the fact that she finds out that Sean is not getting in trouble much and is with Ellie after the Breakfast Club episode, Emma felt like, maybe Sean wasn't a bad boy. But maybe Emma wanted to be with Chris so that she could prove to Sean that, yeah, she moved on too. I think she was just trying to brag it. And then maybe if Sean wasn't a bad boy, Emma probably would break off with Chris saying, I don't need him at all. Basically, then, Sean's not a bad boy anymore. Maybe I don't need Chris. Would she chase after Sean? Maybe. Okay, number 4 with 33 votes was there was an incident over the summer and they decided to end it. Of course, we don't know much about what happened during the summer and all that. All we know from the season 4 premiere is that Emma's upset that she and Chris broke up over the summer. Toby says he and Kendra broke up over the summer. And Liberty broke up with Towers over the summer. I mean, Towers was a great guy. I wish that they would have brought him back. Kendra was booted off the show because some stupid executive didn't like Kendra. And of course, there was the false rumor about Kendra and Toby having a sex thing storyline. And the actress who played Kendra, Katie Lai, her family didn't like it and pulled her off. I mean, how sexist and racist could CTV have been? Now you'd be seeing Teen Nick, but no, because this is a Canadian show and CTV had the Canadian distribution rights. CTV screwed up royally. But, there was an incident over the summer, they decided to end it. Well, yeah, it's like, what happened over the summer? I thought Toby and Kendra were broken up before season 3. Guess not. Regardless, of course, with everything, it just sucked. Number 3 with 38 votes was they broke up amicably. I think that they probably didn't think it would work out. Although a lot of people on the Degrassi Reddit and the Degrassi wiki page said that, it was an underrated relationship. It was a decent relationship. I mean, yeah, Emma screwed up a bit, but it was kind of a quiet relationship in season 3. And of course, season 3 had a lot of storylines and all that. Number 2 with 45 votes was Emma may have been bored with Chris. I can't see why, in a sense. Like, that was just a throwaway line. But, maybe Emma didn't feel that Chris was giving her what she wanted and decided to dump him off so that she can probably go find another guy and all that. I think everything kind of intertwines with each other, but that's the way I feel. And number one with 98 votes out of 259 was Chris breaking up with Emma because he was tired of her BS. I feel that in a way Chris wanted to break up with Emma because of how Emma was and all that. Especially with that episode, she was trying to get revenge on Sean for stealing her laptop, her dad's laptop, like Snake's laptop. Fine, but it seemed that Emma used that as a guise to get back at Sean for breaking up with her. I mean, Emma can be a bit of a prick. In season 2, she was very triggered. But the fact of the matter is that Chris called her out on it, and Emma is upset. And then Snake actually tells Emma that, if you love someone, they'll come back to you. And they basically get back together. And Chris and Emma don't really hurt each other, in a sense. Emma doesn't do anything stupid alongside Chris. Like, her stupidity in the end of season 3 was with the abortion angle with Manny, and accidents will happen. The fact of the matter was that Emma was upset that Manny would have an abortion. I mean, Emma was almost aborted. You kind of figured that with that in mind, Emma was not too happy with everything. But the fact with Emma is that, things happen for a reason. But the fact of the matter is that Emma kind of was full of herself the first 3+ seasons of Degrassi. And of course, it led to that third episode. I would say King of Pain, but that can't be right. Which, Mark and Alex ran for student council president, and then in the background, the subplot, Emma and Chris bumping each other and all that. And they agree to meet each other. But then Manny manages to get Emma to realize that Liberty likes Chris. She has eyes on Chris, and she, writes in her journal instead of her math stuff. Although Manny says, Liberty's off about her math, and then Emma says she has dyscalculia. Remember that dyscalculia was proven because remember the episode that Emma felt that Armstrong was groping Liberty or whatever? And Manny tells her everything will be fine, Emma, but then the gossips, aka Terry and Hazel, tell Paige the rumor around the school. Liberty is laughed at. Emma decides to end the rumor by basically saying she may have said something, but it was an accident. Liberty blows off at her and tells her about her dyscalculia though too. Yeah, and then the journal comes in, and then guess what? Emma finds out about that stuff, and then Manny's convinced that Emma wants to go back to Chris. So she's like, I'll help you get Chris back. Emma said, I don't really want Chris back. What do you mean? I mean, if Liberty and Chris hook up, what does that say about me? What are people going to think about me? And Manny's upset that Emma made that statement, saying that you've made some terrible statements, aka the whole statement about the abortion thing. Although Emma did turn around. I still say that Emma probably was told by Spike to support Manny and all that. Because, it makes sense. And that's why Emma came to the rescue of Manny when Craig gives her a tongue lashing. Regardless, the plan is put into place. Manny tells Liberty about it. Emma tries to backtrack, saying that that's not how it is, but I guess I just miss Chris. And then Liberty says, I won't miss you. Go to hell. And then Emma ends up losing both Manny and Liberty as friends. I mean, as I said, Emma, it was all her fault. She kind of made stupid sense. And that leads me to my point, is that Emma caring about what people thought of her? If Emma had thought about what people cared about her, she wouldn't be so gung-ho on the whole cheerleading thing from season 1. She would not have been as prone to blowing off in season 2, like the whole Snake and Spike relationship, Spike aborting baby Jack, and of course Raditch getting in her face and fight for your right. Like, Emma did these causes. She didn't care what people thought of her. People probably did not think wisely of her and called her a cause girl kind of as an insult. But now she cares about what people think of her. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, how does this affect Emma in a negative light? It doesn't. Like, okay, Chris is with Liberty. No big deal. I mean, Chris is kind of underrated and overlooked, and a lot of people don't really like Chris. Liberty loved Chris. Liberty wanted to be with a guy. Okay, that's fine. JT was not interested in her. JT was interested in Manny, but unfortunately he got caught with a penis pump. But the fact of the matter is that, that led to Emma losing Liberty and Manny as friends, which led her to try to go into Paige's clique, trying to be the good girl and try to destroy Rick and get him out of Degrassi, and then maybe she'll be a hero and the school will like her. Unfortunately, though, she loses a lot of respect when she protects Rick in an argument from being beaten up outside the dot. And Emma's basically persona non grata. She only hangs around the Quiz Bowl team of Heather, Toby, and Rick, unfortunately giving Rick an easy path to Emma. And then, Rick loves Emma and all that. And then, Emma doesn't really have the support group. And she should have had the foresight to know that Rick was being creepy towards her. I mean, the kissing bet happened with Rick and Toby. But the fact of the matter is that, Rick wanted to be with Emma and then, was upset when Emma called Rick out and says that I protected you, get a clue. And then he goes with the gun to the school. But remember, he didn't go after Emma first. He went after Paige first. But Paige calmed him down by saying everything was childish. Nobody saw the gun. And Rick put it back in his locker and then was tricked by Jay and Spinner to go after Jimmy. He shoots Jimmy and then conveniently finds Emma and wants to kill her, but Emma doesn't do that. It takes a few episodes before Emma gets her friend group back, but I guess tragedy just meant everything. And Manny and Liberty knew that they had to help Emma with her problems, and her stupid PTSD was not given any time of day. And Emma lost her causes. She lost her drive. She probably felt that the causes caused someone to die, and maybe she felt guilty. She shouldn't. But yeah, Emma with Chris, it's like, why would Emma care about what people thought about her and Chris breaking up? Besides, she did all these causes and she didn't care what people thought of her. It was kind of a glow up in a sense. I guess she was jealous of Manny being with Craig and wanted to find a boy, failed. And all of a sudden, she wanted to go back to Chris. But all she had to do was admit she was missing Chris and not be so bitchy about that comment. And maybe Emma would have still had Manny and Liberty as friends. Probably not, but whatever. That's just how I feel. And thanks for watching this Degrassi